Can you believe that it got to this, that an Australian soldier had to take on the Australian taxpayer-funded broadcaster in the Australian Federal Court to get a bit of justice and to have a fair hearing?
That's the part that's really sinking in. You know, I've had the values of freedom of speech and freedom of press thrown at me so much over the last 3 years, and I really feel a deep animosity and resentment towards Australia a little bit, to be honest, mate, because they're the sort of things that me and my guys went away to fight for. And it really has taken 3 years worth of editorial complaints, letters to the managing director of the ABC and the chairman, Ida Buttrose, editorial complaints, a petition we gave to Parliament. And at the end of the day, it had to be a civil defamation case because the ABC was allowed to call us war criminals without any charges even being brought against us. And then I had to be able to personally afford to take them to court to get that justice. It's a lot to swallow.
One of the clearest messages to emerge from this case is the absolute determination of the ABC to use dirty tactics, including media releases, to deliberately mess with Russell's mental state. They did that. That's what your ABC stoops to.
We welcome investigations. We welcome our chance to have due process and the presumption of innocence and to have any of our actions tested in a criminal court of law or a military tribunal, but we haven't been afforded that. And journalists, particularly in this case, Mark Willisey and his mates at the ABC, have been allowed to level the most serious allegations you can level at a military professional and only have the recourse of defamation in civil proceedings to hold them to it.
This is another example of the national broadcaster dishonouring itself and fouling Australia's media landscape. If it were not for the strength of character and tenacity of this warrior to face his toughest fight, absurdly, against the ABC, to clear his own name and those of the men in his platoon, the stain on their reputations would remain.